It's been a wild couple of weeks in fantasy land, and here to help us make sense of it all is Yahoo Sports fantasy expert, the living legend herself, Liz Loza.
Ah, living legend.
Great to see you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I feel so welcomed after that, but can we welcome in another legend? Marty, how's the Big Apple treating you?
I'm more into oranges than apples, but this place is great.
All right, there you go. There you have it. Speaking of the Big Apple, you know, Liz, when the Giants drafted SAQUON Barkley, they wanted to have him sort of complement the other offensive weapons they had there in the passing game. He's now become the passing game himself. How's that impacting fantasy owners?
Well, you're absolutely right. In fact, on Sunday night, or actually since week 2, he has drawn 22 targets, and on Sunday night, 80 of his 108 passing yards, well, total yards came through the air. They were passing yards. That's what you're going to get in a check down offense, which is what's happening in New York right now. Now, Marty, I have a question for you. Is this check down offense the result of Pat Shurmur? Is it the result of a deficient offensive line? I need your take.
I'd say here's what happens. You have a really good running back that can't run the ball because the offensive line cannot block for him. As I said a couple weeks ago, he had two big runs, but still 2.5 yards per carry. So we know this guy's explosive, so you got to find ways to give him the ball. And the running back is coming in hand a lot now because Eli only gets 3 seconds to count the ball. Other teams, they get 5 Mississippis. Eli, being the Ole Miss guy, he gets 1 Mississippi before he has to get rid of the ball. And we saw the look on his face that became very memeable of what it may be like to be Eli Wonder behind, not Eli Wonders, Eli Manning behind the line of scrimmage.
I like Eli Wonder. That's a good nickname for Eli Manning.
Yeah, but that's another project that I'm working on. It's a graphic novel, so that shit belongs to me. Sure. I copyrighted it already.
Imagination factor is a million other things. But for you guys in here, Eli Wonder, he needs SAQUON Barkley to be the entire offense. Does that have you pause for concern?
Well, and Clinton, I mean, like, you don't have to look at the advanced analytics to see that Barkley is evading all the tackles and constantly creating. I feel like he's taking a lot of steps, and it's only week 2. So is it sustainable?
Well, as you said, when you don't have an offensive line, it's nothing you can do. Everything is checked down. His back is turned often. If you look at that, you want to get a running back the ball running downhill. You see the Rams get Todd Gurley the ball. When they get it, he's moving. When you getting your running back the ball and he's getting hit in the back constantly, SAQUON, Chris Thompson, those check down offenses don't work. That's not going to hold. That's going to get your player injured. So you really want to get your guys the ball looking downfield. Kamara, Gurley, Le'Veon, whenever he comes back, those are guys that catch the ball in space and they're on the move to make big plays.
I'm personally just rooting for whatever allows SAQUON to prosper because I love hearing these old white commentators say SAQUON over and over again. It just really adds a nice tone to football that I enjoy right now. So
well,
go SAQUON.
Speaking of SAQUON,
well done.
As a white broadcaster,
well done,
let me say some
well
SAQUON. You know, you got SAQUON and McCaffrey and Melvin Gordon and Kamara, and all these running backs are now really integral parts of the passing offense. How is that benefiting fantasy owners? And how do they incorporate that into setting their lineups?
Well, in points per reception leagues, it's obviously giving you more points. I mean, you've got guys like Theo Riddick in Detroit, who's basically a slot receiver. You mentioned, Clinton, Chris Thompson, who's, I think, more than a third down back at this point in Washington, and also Christian McCaffrey, who's lining up all over the place, and Ron Rivera saying he could carry the ball 20 times, but he's a smaller dude. So what's your take on this new era NFL running back?
Well, it's different. I'm really excited about Christian McCaffrey. I think a guy that's under the radar right now is Nyheim Hines from NC State to play with the Colts. If Luck can continue what he did last week against my Skins, Nyheim Hines is going to have a big year. So you got to stay on the watch out for him. But looking at these guys, I want a running back to run the ball. Everyone is so smart now. Everyone has a genius offense, and they want to work your guys. OBJ gets paid to catch the ball. A running back gets paid to move the chains. Get a ball to him. Hand the ball to the man and stop making it complicated. If you want a receiver, go draft a receiver.
So, Marty, what's your take on this? Because tight ends, you know, have to block and also catch. And now that there are so many more pass-catching tight ends, and this is the passing NFL, I mean, could some old-school blocking tight ends help these running backs out?
That's why they got to throw the ball, because the tight ends can't block no more. There's nothing worse than having a tight end on the edge, one-on-one with a defensive end. A defensive end sets the edge every single time. So a lot of tight ends, they cannot stretch the edge, and they cannot block a one-on-one. So these defensive ends are whooping these ass, they're whooping the ass these tight ends. So as a running back, you don't want to run behind the tight end because you can't stretch the play out. And to be able to stretch the play, everybody wants to run zone stretches, left and right, those things. Nobody wants to run power and traps anymore downhill. Everything is stretch zone, and you can't run stretch zone without a good blocking tight end. But it's super interesting right now because back in the day, everybody wanted a tight end for the matchup. But then you started drafting people who could eliminate that matchup just to play against the tight end. So now with running backs, you got these running backs where if they doing certain things to take the tight end away, you could get the matchups with a linebacker, the same linebacker that used to be on on the tight end, you get him matched up with that running back, and he can make some plays right there. So I think a lot of the run game dropping in the NFL is because tight ends can't block.
Well, speaking of tight ends, the Chiefs have an incredible one in Travis Kelce, and their offense has looked insane. Let's talk about the Chiefs' offense.
Ooh.
Unbelievable.
I mean, I was wrong about Pat Mahomes. I will full on say it. 38 completions, 10 touchdowns, and here's the kicker, 0 interceptions. I mean, he and Tyreek Hill look like a match made in absolute heaven.
If you're a fantasy owner, though, you got to have some concern because, I mean, can they keep this up? Like, are they going to keep scoring 6 touchdowns every week? Or?
I mean, well, they're going to do really well after the bye with Andy Reid. If they hit a plateau like they did last year remains to be seen. But the thing that Mahomes is doing, he is throwing with touch. He is throwing with accuracy, timing. He was getting all of his receivers at all levels of the field involved. And Travis Kelce, in week 1, people were worried. But fun fact, Kelce in his 5-year career has never scored against the Chargers. Didn't worry about it because in week 2 he went off for over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I think they've got the momentum moving in their favor here.
Well, Liz, as always, you drop fantasy knowledge. We appreciate you coming to the show and imparting your wisdom on the universe.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you so much.